Look, look, I can't. I can't take this one seriously, but at the same time, I can. I know yesterday we had 3 Zeus ops. I literally said that these next 4 years were going to be a gold mine for content, and this OFCRA round does not disappoint. Gentlemen, we are invading Greenland. Oh, man. I don't know why this makes me laugh so hard, but my god, this is a good one. This is peak. Absolute peak. All right, turning my microphone down just a smidge. I think all of our commands should be working. And I'm just replying to Patch about something for tonight, because we do have a POG tonight as well. I just got to get a few things set up. Sea Shark, Tech Priest, Jen, how are you all doing? Let me go ahead and go open up our command here for the mission. If you want to follow along, just type !mission. But you can you can follow along. So, situation. In the White House, the leader of the free world believed that Greenland's independence would give him the quasi-vassal that he had spoken about in the election trail. So, when his national security advisors informed him that American requests to drill in Greenland waters have not only been rejected, but also U.S. troops have been asked to leave the frozen island, the orange man turned red. Within a matter of hours, 2 MEF was resupplied and prepared to sail. Greenland, on the other hand, rested their future on the greater cooperation with Denmark, but this time as equals. What they didn't expect was to ask their previous overlords to support so soon, with both Danish reinforcements and an entire U.S. Marine flotilla streaming towards Nuuk. Only time will tell what the future of Greenland looks like. Good luck. I love Europeans taking American politics and turning it into operations because they're completely impartial. Well, usually. And they make absolute banners like these. All right. Here's how points are going to work here. So, there's a big ore in the common objectives, which is quite interesting here. It looks like the operations are RNG. So... Let me just read them off. So, control the Marisak docks by the end of the game, which are these. And then control the red zone. So, there's a purple zone, a red zone, and then a dockyard. And then there's another purple zone, red zone, and dockyard. I don't know what the ore means here. All I can say is that the purple zone is worth 4 points, the red zone here is worth 3 points, and then this is worth 2 points. This is worth 2 points for the 55-minute mark, this at the 70-minute mark, and then this at the 90-minute mark, and then same with this area. 55-minute mark for 2 points, bigger red zone, 70-minute mark worth 3 points, and then 4 points for the cap zone worth at the end of the game. Looks like Blue 4 is going to mainly be playing defense here. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Op 4 is USMC. Interesting. And Blue 4 is going to be the defending force. That's funny. All right, let me go ahead and put a prediction up. Oh my god, this is going to slap. Win this OFCRA match. Blue 4. Op 4. Let's see. So we got 3 different Danish forces here. Blue 4 being the Danish force, Op 4 being the groups coming in. Red side lead plus top drums. Oh my god, I love this. I absolutely love this. This is just putting such a damn grin on my face. Oh, we're going to have one hell of an operation today. Let me tab out here and give you a player count. We have 140 players on the server right now. This is going to be like a 70v70, give or take. Op 4 going to be mainly playing defense on these objectives. Blue 4 going to be assaulting here. And we'll see what vehicles both sides have. Oh, man. That kills me, though. Top troops. Oh. How's all your Thursdays doing? We're gonna have this is OFCRA. As you can tell, these guys are doing what I'm doing with the latest 2024 election in the United States, taking everything that comes out of it and turning it into meme content because that's what it's begging for. So we'll just have to see if OPFOR U.S. Marine Corps can hold the defensive positions or if Blue 4 Danish elements can come in. I'm giving them the sides so you know what to bet for in your prediction. But if you're being smart about your betting and waiting to see when we actually push in to see what sides, what vehicles have, as well as who's on what players are on what sides, I applaud you. That's the smartest way to bet at this point. Oh my god. When do we invade Canada? You know, I will ask NASA when the Canadian and Mexican invasions are, because this should be a campaign. God, can you imagine the meme potential for something like this? I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, that's what we should do. We should have an anti-Stasi game where... God, what do you think for anti-Stasi the occupier and invader faction should be? If we have the invader faction be the United States, maybe we just make them both U.S. So the United States Army is the occupying faction, the invaders are the U.S. Marine Corps, and we're just the Danish militia on NAP trying to survive. But we turn on all of the futuristic reinforcements. We have to fight drop pods, we have to fight orbital lasers, we gotta fight all the crazy shit. God, I gotta convince my player base to do something like that. That'd be pretty base, not gonna lie. I'm doing alright, Shadow. Hope you're doing A-okay. Maybe the Russians can smuggle us supplies. Look, I'm American. I am an equal opportunity memer. I will meme everything under the sun and turn it into an operation if I think it'll be funny. So might as hell, right? Granted, gets us DDoS here and there, but you know what? It's funny. Denmark would be the invaders, and then local players as Greenlanders. Yeah, I'm thinking that too, Axe Baron. That'd probably be smart. I just don't know what a good occupier faction would be, but we'd have to look at like RHS factions and see what's up. But I'll put that up on polls, and then we'll see what happens. Because I'm looking to see what we want to change on the Monday slot. What I do want for certain, though, is I want 3 or 4 weeks, probably 4, where we do some Zeus trials. What might also be interesting, though, is I could shrink it down to 3 weeks, where we host the Zeus trials on 2 days with 3 players, or even 4 players for this time around. So 2 weeks of other people's Zeus and Ops. And then we go right into another anti-Stasi campaign, but I'll let my player base vote on it, because there's a lot of different topics, you know? Politics are lame, and you meme everything. I'm going to be honest, that's how I want to go forward with these next 4 years. I don't really give a shit for the politics. I think it's funny what comes out of politics, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready to meme it all. Next weekend, we are going to be rescuing Elmo and Bert and Ernie from Iraq, or is it Iran? Where are we giving like 20 million for, I think it was Iraqi Sesame Street? Yeah, no, just, it's literally, this is modern day version of Ramirez Defend Burger Town. I remember we ran an op in Fallujah to defend Kabul McDonald's. That was a good one. Oh, there's so many good ops to Zeus, man. Oh, I love it. Definitely didn't get that idea from Generation Zero. Yeah, right? There's so many good ideas. How about the avian flu op the other day, though, with the murder chicken? Oh, so many good ops to post, so little time. Got yourself Armor Reforged for PS5? Yeah, go enjoy Armor Reforged, man. I'm going to be honest, it's a good game. It just sucks that it's under DDoS hell right now, but if you want a simple plug-and-play for Arma 3... I would say Reforger is definitely the best one to pick up and do it with. Just be careful, because, you know, Reforger and Daisy are getting DDoS into oblivion right now, so, you know. Just keep that in the meantime, but I think that's what Arma 3, not even Arma 3, Arma itself has lacked, is just some fast-paced plug-and-play. You know, like Call of Duty, you can literally hit 3 buttons and be in a multiplayer lobby. Arma Reforger has kind of helped with that. Now, I'm more of the type of person, I mean, to make my own scenarios, run my own scenarios, do all that with Zeusing script. Well, not necessarily scripting all the time, but, you know, occasionally scripting. But, you know, I'm one for that whole process, and there's people out there that like that slow level of gameplay, but most people, I mean, Fortnite's popular, Call of Duty's popular, they just want to plug and play because they only have that much time in the day for their, you know, lives. So by all means, points for the goat god. Pumpkin, I think you're just doing it on purpose. That's okay. Alright, 2 minutes before we're pushed in, and then we'll go over the sides, and then for those of you that are smart and waiting for those breakdowns, you can then bet on a faction. Ay. Had a round yeeted, one dude picked his uniform up and trolled another dude and poured two. Yeah. I'm aware that you can literally change your uniform out and pretend to be the other side and then do interesting things with them, that's for sure. But that's what I'm here for, man. I'm all here to make you laugh and meme the shit out of everything. Alright, let me tab out one more time. Let me get a final player count here. We are sitting at about 142. Alright, so yeah, 71v71. Maybe another 5 or 10 to the attacking faction, so that's probably going to be, what, 76 to 67? 66? Something like that. Attackers usually get a slight bump in numbers because defenders have that defender advantage. And, of course, all one life PvP match commentary. I'll be curious to see how Blue Force spreads out to hold the docks. Or how, the Danish forces come in. And then, of course, we have Pog tonight. We will have a pay for pain and a pay for assistance thing for them, and we'll talk more about that later. I'll probably start the stream around 7:30 to let those documents marinate a little early. And then I have to set up a bunch of stuff. Real quick, can someone check if Bloodwing's in the stream? I'm going to tell you guys what I'm doing for Valentine's Day, but if she's here, then I don't want to say anything. Wow, all right, there's a big spread of units here. All right, let's go ahead and have a look. I'm going to page up everything. She's not here? All right, cool. I'll wait till we have a break, and then I'll go over it. Is this? This is the new Expeditionary Force frigate. Fun fact. Interesting. Wow, yeah, it's got the big landing thing down here. All right, anyway, U.S. Marine Corps Forces, the leader of this group is going to be Depso. Awesome. We have some SMAs in play. We've got some remote designators, some holo-sighted 50 cals. We have some GPMG, so these are the AAVPs. These can hold, like, literally 16 guys in it. It's got a 50 cal and a GMG machine gun. So that is quite the spread here. I'm trying to see if there's any aircraft here. We do have a Venom gunship with a pilot and a co-pilot. We've got a few other guys here. I forgot to check their magnified optics. Looks like those 3 times magnified optics. We also have some RCOs in play with some GLs. All right. And then we've got one more ship over here. Probably more AAVPs at this point. Nah, these are just infantry, but let's check their scopes here. So we got 2 49s in play with some RCOs. A lot of RCOs in play, actually. We have a SMA. Multiple SMAs for the AT launchers. All right, so this is definitely a magnified optic game. Mostly rifles, some grenadier systems. And then we've got some RHIVs in the back with some frontal 50 cals. All right, not bad. So these guys are going to immediately get in. That's why they're named the Recon Force, because they can get in quicker than the Spartan Force, which is going to have those AAVPs. Looking over at the dock, looks like we have a few defenders here. So we have some Danish forces. Ah, no, this is the Greenland team here. So it's literally just a few dudes with bolt actions. Oh, no. So, that's unfortunate for them. That is really unfortunate for them. Let's see how the... so I believe those are the Greenland forces defending. Let's see how their reinforcing Danish overlords come in. So we've got... similar camo scheme. They've got their own M4-based rifles with ACOGs. All right. We've got some M60E4s. Interesting. We've got more scoped 50 cals. We have some Pander APCs in play. I see some Mazes and some AT4s. All right. And that appears to be it for this team. And then we have a command Humvee back here. And one of them has Another bolt action. That's so mean. All right, looking back here on the dock, they have a ship in play here. All right, so we've got... Whoa, interesting. This is a Hellcat, I believe. No, it's a Wildcat, my bad. With some 7.62 minigun pods. They also have some sniper teams in play, which aren't going to be that useful because they're on, you know, white terrain. So we got some marksmen, actually, not necessarily snipers. One of them has a fucking mini-me. Jesus. So it's a Special Forces Bush Wookiee team. Okay. With a marksman rifle. And then we have the other team in here. Okay, so they've got 50 cals on Humvees, and it's the same set of riflemen. Okay, what kind of concerns me off the bat is the Blue 4 elements have AAVPs. So unless the AAVPs don't have their GMG ammo... Can someone check to see if they have GMG ammo on those AAVPs for OPFOR? Because otherwise, that's a pretty massive advantage. Plus, those AAVPs are pretty resistant. Not indestructible from, but pretty resistant to 50 cal. So, they'd have to land direct AT shots on these things. The engine, they could still smoke with it, but, I mean, this is a big boy. And he is thickly armored. Nerf GMG. So what that means is the GMG, if it lands at your feet, it won't insta-kill you. But if you take like 5 GMG rounds around you, you're probably going to get pretty effed up with mini wounds. Which, I'm going to be honest, could be even worse, because if you die, then you're dead. But if you're not dead and you have 20 wounds on you, other people are going to have to come over to help you bandage. And that means less rifles are being utilized, even if the rifles are these funny little bolt actions. But, you know... that could still be a deficit, so we'll just have to see how things go. I'd imagine OPFOR might see the reconnaissance forces try to come into here. OPFOR might try to take the main forces and take those positions. Recon, we'll see what they do. Blue 4, we're probably going to see one team go one way, one team go the other. This could really go either way here, but with that, that was the wrong button. What's the side leader for Blue 4? It's Lolo with Naval Feed and Masano. All right. And then Depso leading the American force with Z and Blackery as our top trumps. The trump card, if you will. I love it. All right, looking at our objectives here. So we've got the dock. This needs to be captured by the 55-minute mark for 2 points. We have the other dock over here, pretty much the same area. It's open. Then we've got whoever just has more people in the city, this entire red zone, and then this dockyard. The big red zone will be capped at the 70-minute mark for 3 points, and that purple zone capped at the end of the game for 4 points. And then same with this town with its docks right over here. Very interesting, very interesting. OPFOR, I don't know, we might see the recon team either go and assist with this push, or they're going to come around over here and immediately try to assault that area, so we'll probably see some dismounts over here and over here with the recon force. They'll come in. This force will then bypass to head into the city while the other force goes in and takes the docks. The AAVPs are just going to freaking steamroll. They might not even go into this objective. They might just hold a defensive in the town of Nook. Blue 4, it's going to take them at least 5 to 10 minutes to drive up here. I'd probably shoot around 5 to 8. Nook is a straight shot from that southern group. The northern group is going to have to go up this MSR, and it's also relatively a straight shot. So, yeah, 5 to 8 minutes, and in that same amount of time, I could imagine OPFOR getting here. I couldn't imagine the recon teams getting in here because they're going to be stopped by this 4-man team unless they literally charge in. Granted, they're fighting dudes with bolt-action rifles, but knowing how defensive OFCRA is and how against rushing they are, unless it's the 1 in a million where they do decide to rush, that could be anything. If OPFOR wins timeout tech, why? Because he's going to get so many points. What was the final point tally? I see that it's done. But again, the 1 to 2.88 ratio was too sexy to pass up. Are you telling me many people voted on the Danish winning? Damn, that means I have more European viewers than American. I'm not complaining. You guys are awesome. America, for what it is, I mean, my player base, don't get me wrong, I love them. They don't have this problem. It's just Twitch viewership with Americans. Some can get very rowdy about politics and political ops like these, which is why I try to avoid them. Which is why I'm happy this is being done at a 3 o'clock time slot, and I don't usually have to deal with him because a lot of them are dealing with 9 to 5, so... Down to 1.263, but it's still very hot. I'm going to laugh if OFCRA takes this all the way, but hey, we'll just have to see how things play out. You dumped your stock there. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win? I'm going to be honest, I think Blue 4 has an advantage with those AAVPs, even if it's a nerf GMG. Those things are pretty heavily armored. They can transport a lot of people immediately into the AO, and they've got the time and leeway to actually move their forces out. We see that, you know, we already have some of the boats deploying, and the AAVPs, I'd imagine, are going to start coming out to follow suit. So I think OFCRA is in a better position to start, and it looks like the helicopter is going to come over and immediately pick up this team over here, which is why they're popping smoke. We have another boat waiting around underneath, but yeah, these guys immediately going for that opening here. And then OFCRA also deploying. Now, there was an ore factor here, so I don't know if both objectives are up for grabs or only one. But it could go either way. But Recon Force already blitzing in. They're going to grab some guys, put them on a helicopter, and bring them forward. Oh, it's on fire. Is that safe? I don't think it was safe. Yeah, I don't think that was safe, guys. Looks like the top trumps are dead. Oh no! Oh no! Well. Oh, alright. That happened. Sorry. That was just too funny to pass up. Alright, so we've got some OFCRA forces. They're going to blitz right in. Alright, that's fair. There's a dam in the way, so they'll have to do their dismounts over here. These guys might try to hold those earlier positions. I'd imagine they're going to get respawned, but that was kind of funny. It looks like they're all going to go for this position over here, so I don't know if Blue 4 knows about that, or if OFCRA is just fighting for a tie at this point. I know, it can't be Arma 3 without the typical Arma 3 shenanigans, that's for damn sure. I don't know if they're going to refund that or not, because that wasn't an Arma glitch. That was literally the helicopter pilot slamming the helicopter down and getting everyone killed, you know? So, I don't think that was a debug issue. I think that was the pilot being way too cocky. Everyone saw the vehicle on fire and then said, nah, it'll be fine. I just chuckle at that. They immediately get rid of the political aspect of the mission. Anyway. Looks like the boats are just giving general suppressive fire to this position. Bark has decided to use the cheeky, stick your gun into the wall and pretend to be a statue. Blue 4 will never see this coming. This is a really smart play by Bark. He's literally so perfectly hidden outside of the building. I mean, this is peak gaming right here, all right? And let me explain. He stuck his rifle in a hole right here, and he's perfectly able to hold himself up with this rifle just over that little spot. I mean, crazy how that works. But yeah, no, these guys are literally just rushing over to that area there. Okay, looks like the admin is going to respawn him. Because shenanigans. Alright, this helicopter's flying around. It is loaded with the secret squirrel team of the Bush Wookiees, so maybe they'll find a landing zone and then try to engage OFCRA as they move into this set of towns. I think what it is, here's where the ore comes in. I think OFCRA can pick which AO they're going for, And then Blue 4 have to figure out which one Op 4 is going for to make their landing, and then they have to push Op 4 out of it. So Blue 4 is not going to get any points for Op 4 not choosing these locations. They have to go where Op 4 goes. I think that's what they're going for here. Which is why you have that or in the mission command. Shio saying the cow strength on that guy and then changing it to core. Nah, bro, that dude does have the strength of a cow to be able to hold himself up like that. Is he still doing it? No. All right. He realized that he might be in a bad position, so he got down and he crawled into this barn here, and now he's hiding behind the hay. Or he's hungry and he's eating the hay. He could be a cow. I mean, you don't know that I'm a shrimp in a human outfit, so that could just be a cow in a human outfit, too. I mean... Hey, I just said I was in a human outfit. I'm not. I'm a normal human being like you. I don't know where that came from. That was probably some weird interference by Twitch. But that is definitely a cow in a human outfit. Don't ask how I know. Anyway, these guys are triple timing it to these positions. Looks like Blue 4 is going to do a far dismount with some of its units here. I guess just to look into the AO, maybe they're thinking that Op 4 is going to be able to get into that position, maybe because these guys radioed in that the boats already made it. And then you have this wide spread of AAVPs coming along to the dock. I'm just wondering how long it's going to take for Blue 4 to move their forces. Maybe they already have considered it, and these Humvees are coming to pick those 4 guys up so they can converge on this position. A goat in a shrimp in a human outfit. I don't know what you look up on the internet, Cole, but I don't... That ain't my type of... Anyway. Op 4 just slowly maneuvering along. The helicopter's still flying around. I'm curious to see where they're going to drop the Bush Wookiees off. Or they might just jump from the helicopter. It's hard to say. Are they trying to come in and do a gun run, or are they just going low? Nope, and they're taking fire. See, with so many people in that helicopter, there's more people to potentially hit. So that's just a big moving target. I don't think Op 4 knows that there's a squad in there, but... nonetheless, they still want to shoot the helicopter because it's pretty and it's flying. Hey, crazy buddy, how are you doing? Hey, buddy. Hey. I know where you live. So you're not going to clip anything silly, right? I know where you live. Anyway, back to the action here. Blue 4 just orbiting on the helicopter, watching these infantry go in. We still have these 4 guys that are going to bravely hold the docks, but I don't know if an AAVP is... gonna let them have that AO. Thought I just saw a hit, actually, but it might have been nothing. Just a spray. And then we have another boat coming out. It looks like that recon squad just decided to take a boat because they didn't want to refund the helicopter, because that was the pilot's fault for slamming it into the AO. So Blue Op 4, the 2 quote-unquote top trumpers did disconnect, realizing that nothing went according to plan, so they weren't revived. And then I'm not sure if the pilot was revived or not, but I don't see it. Otherwise, Depso is going to be commanding in the field here. We've got some Humvees potentially moving to the docks. They might add some reinforcements, and then we have these guys staying at the dockyard. I have no idea how this ore is going to work, but we'll just have to see how things go. Again, based off of the ore, I assume Op 4 just chooses where the AO is, and then we go from there. Which means these guys still have to defend that first dock because maybe they don't know which one is done until the points actually tally in. So, Otherwise, we have one group that's dismounted up here. This is a twin Humvee group with a 50 cal on one of those Humvees. And then we have another twin Humvee group moving around down here. Probably another transport with a 50 cal Humvee. Yep. Chopper got hit with its engine. Crew's bailing out. 2 of them, okay. Yeah, the crew has to bail out quick because if they bail out below 100 meters, they die, which I think one of them just did. Rico hits the ground. Oh, shit. Well, Rico didn't need to jump out. The chopper was okay. Rest in peace, Rico. He will be missed. Rigel staying in the helicopter, so the engine got shot out of that bird. Maybe they'll be able to repair it. Rico lost his legs. Gotta remember, by default Arma 3 settings, if you jump out of any air vehicle or even ground vehicle and you're below 100 meters, you don't get put in the default parachute animation. And you'll just fall to your death for funsies. Anyway, Blue 4 have the Bush Wookiees now on the front line to help them, but I'm not sure if OPFOR is showing any interest in taking that position. They're going to keep moving on. We've got the AAVP just setting up security here. The gunner's turned out, interestingly enough, maybe because he has a better angle to watch. Sam in the gunner's seat, that's a pretty smart position for him to be in. He's a very, very competent vehicle crewman, both as a driver and a gunner. I think some of his best kill streaks I've seen are him in vehicle turret positions, so that'll be interesting to see what he can do. And those AAVPs, they do have some minor magnification, so they can be super accurate at range. But I think eventually we are going to see an AAVP group try to take the dockyard here, so, Looks like Kajanovic is trying to work on Rico, not realizing he died on impact. If you're going to land at over 100 meters on your feet, I don't think your leg bones are going to be at your legs. I think they're going to be up past your stomach at that point, but, you know, that's just me. Do Bush Wookiees have any AT? I didn't see any AT on them, which showed me that they were more of a Special Forces group. Now I got some 50 cal firing, funnily enough, at the bird over here, but everyone's turned out anyway. Blue 4, meanwhile, launching a devastating counterattack to the south. Rizbo's down. Long-range 50 cal firing from the south as well, boxing these forces in. Some GMG rounds landing around the infantry over there. OPFOR now returning fire. Getting some brilliant headshots on some of the Danish forces behind the vehicles. Here we got 2 down. 50 cal now coming up, but the gunner is immediately knocked out because he's very exposed on that 50 cal gun. And you got to remember, this is a magnified optics fight. Both sides do have ACOG-style scopes. So with that level of magnification, they can easily get the headshots on those exposed gunners. So right off the bat with this group, I'm having trouble identifying it. It's just this team. And they've been able to take out multiple Danish forces here. 2 knockouts back here, 2 KIA up there. So not really how the Danish wanted to start this fight. And then we have an AAVP rolling in. That could aim on some of the Overwatch team over there and take them out. Smoke's deployed. That's going to give some cover for the vehicle to move up. Arthiak gets knocked out from range. There wasn't blue on blue. Both Blue 4 groups were firing at the OPFOR element pretty properly there, so. Looks like the vehicle is not made aware of that overwatching group. So we're seeing fire coming in. I think that's the 50 cal firing into the crew compartment, but we do see this guy still alive. He's our canary in the coal mine. Sam still can't seem to find them. Smoke's still heavily billowed out. There's only 3 Blue 4 alive. Over here, they're prepping the AT-4. That could do some damage, but the smoke's going to be in the way. But if this guy's focused on that other element there... Oh, we just had AT fire and hit up there. I'm not sure if that was that one. That's kind of weird that he wasted it on ground over there. Vehicle's going to see that it took AT fire and pull back. They just can't seem to find the gun. I'm going to be honest, you're going to want to use the rear as the space compartment because good driving there. GMG just found the vehicle. Started nuking it. 50 cal goes in, knocks Spotty out. AT, brilliant hit. That was both an AT-4 at short range and a Moz round, hitting it at the same time, instantly cooking it off. I really don't understand. If they knew they were being engaged from the south by AT, why they stayed there. They should have immediately backed away and found another position. Instead, they just stayed there. They were able to get a knockout, but that was not a smart call to make, to stay in there. So I believe that was a very big waste of an asset, but we see that a lot in PvP where some gunners and driver combos, they just don't know where to position their vehicles, and that loss of cohesion can cost the entire vehicle. Now, the infantry here, they're still in a pretty good position. That Overwatch element's starting to move out, but they only have to deal with 2 guys locally, so the vehicle there is not going to change much in terms of where this is coming out. Individual infantry actions are, and we might see Draperhard come up. He has gotten close. He could find a nice little crossfire position from one of these windows and start picking a few people off. Let's see if he finds that window. A little more to the right, buddy. He's on 4 kills, mind you. Gets a knockout. And he is credited with that vehicle kill, so he got those kills from that. He's just opting suppress. Interesting strategy. I'd be going for pickoffs here with his head. That's a beautiful pickoff. See what I'm talking about? Putting more rounds in. Gets another knockout. He sees that one guy right there. He can't get him, though, because of the texture of the trench. Here's my question. Is he about to be flanked? Yep, Jonathan's trying to come up to his building. He does not hear the footsteps. Oh my god. He forgot to reload. Ooh! Alright, this is why you need to have situational awareness if you're going to make those plays. If you know you're running up alone, you hear footsteps, and then the sound of a magazine sliding out and a new one entering the gun, and the tap of it, you probably should turn around and look. I'm just saying. Bluck has a handgun, and he is fighting dudes with automatic rifles. Bluck is my hero. He tried to get a kill with those grenades. It didn't work out. Oh, he's fighting Twig Kane's group. Twig is hit or miss in PvP. He either does really, really well and we joke about it, or he does really, really badly and I egg him on about it. Now, Blue 4 bringing more reinforcements into this zone. They just suffered a lot of knockouts there. It looks like they've gotten some of them back up, but this group is kind of being left out to dry. I'm surprised we're not seeing any reinforcements coming over to help assist them. Oh, that's tough. They need more manpower here because Blue 4 is committing everything to the objective itself. I get Op4 wants to hold those two zones because they're worth more points, but this is a very tough AO here. You just have these two remaining, but they're about to be reinforced. You've got other forces coming up on that side. You got more Blue 4 coming in. Because once that group falls, they're going to go on to this element. All right, Bark, you've been balancing on the side of a wall for a while. He's got his handgun out now. I'd imagine they found and eliminated Bluck. I don't see him anymore. Speed moving around. And Bark was so concentrated, he forgot to shoot his gun. It happens. He could wake back up, though. None of those were lethal shots. And I think Speed just hurt. Oh, no. Speed's like, yeah, no, he's fine. He's just got a rifle. Never mind. Speed's a stone-cold killer. We have another knockout over here. A Grenadier round went in, but I guess it was a miss. Maybe I think it hit in the building, but because Grenadier rounds are nerfed, it didn't do that much damage. He was looking for a needle in a haystack. Yeah, well, he's dead in the haystack now, so, you know. Jonathan, is he still only on one kill because of that one guy that he janked? Nope, we got another one. 50 cal shots now coming in. And based off of the range, oh! There goes Jonathan. Caught in the open with that 50 cal. The building's taking damage from the 50 cal suppression. It's just tearing through this wooden shed there. And the medics, they might be able to get a few people up. Nah, neither of them are medics, but maybe infantry will come up and assist. I don't know how Op4 is going to be able to hold this docks in the long run here. We do have a few other Blue 4 guys on, but, I mean, the goal of this group is to bypass that infantry group and then head up to the docks itself. And it looks like Op4 is just being ordered to hold this position at all costs and not press any additional forces in. You've got blocking positions being made outside of the dock area here, so Op4 want to hold the internal parts of the city, but that might change. They might go for the outskirts instead. Blue 4 still haven't committed a big chunk of their forces into the fight over here. We have a whole squad going out to this position over here. That's, I think, because those Pander APCs are amphibious, the ones Blue 4 have, so they could, in theory, use those to cross. So this one's destroyed, but we can see the destroyed fins on the back, so they are amphibious. And then this group, I'm assuming they are getting respawned because they tried to see what happens when they put an APC in a barn. And, you know, it didn't fit. And they tried to make it fit, and, well, actions have consequences. Have the Vikings surrendered yet? No, I think they were slaughtered, but, you know... I think a semi-auto, like, submachine gun. No, just a regular submachine gun would have been better than those silly bolt actions. All right, Blue 4 slowly starting to advance. We'll have to see. Hey, Break, how you doing? Thanks for the raid. We'll have to see how this team does. Arthiak's still trying to find one to pick off. He's got the I-27. I thought he was holding that. I'm like, what gun is that? But no, that's the gun. I thought he was holding like the axe right there. That was just a trick of the texture. So I think these guys are here just to hold the forces coming up here, and then we got more Blue 4 coming around, and they've all completely abandoned this position. They're all moving on foot, realizing Op 4 is going for these areas. With timing, we're only 20 minutes in, so there's still another 25 minutes to hit the zone. I think Blue 4 is going to be able to rally enough people and take it out. Whether or not that leaves enough Blue 4 to take these bigger zones is anyone's guess. It's just going to have to rely on the PvP at that point. Yeah, I wish there was some jet play in this one. This would be pretty good. Current casualty count is really tough because when people leave, they disappear along with their skull symbols. So Sam is the only Op 4 guy still here, whereas Blue 4, we have nearly an entire squad wiped here. And then we've got parts of another element wiped, but they're going to probably be respawned because that's the APC. But it's very hard for me to show. And then Rico's still here, but he died. I will say I think Blue 4 have, like, visually taken a few more casualties because they lost, almost an entire squad, whereas Op 4 have only lost half of one, and then, a few stragglers with bolt-action rifles for Blue 4 have been killed, but despite what we've seen, not a lot of large-scale PvP has happened. It's only been, like, 2 Op 4 squads and then, like, 2 Blue 4 squads and a small Blue 4 group that, a 4-man bolt-action rifle element that, was just there as a token force and got wiped as a token force. So now we've got a few of these guys coming in. Is this the pilot group? Yeah, so now the pilots are coming in. They got flash hiders. That's funny. Did Twig spot him? No, I think he sees the movement up there. What's funny is he might get shot from the side. Rigel could find an angle on him. Yeah, so Rigel's trying to, like, crawl over to find a shooting angle to hit somebody there. Meanwhile, it looks like Op 4 are trying to pull back to help defend the dockyard. I think that's smart for them to reconsolidate. There's a lot of nice buildings in here where they do have second story access. I think this one doesn't, but these two do. There is a texture that does allow for that, but again, some of these are older textures because NAP is I think it's an Arma 2 port map. So Twig gets spotted and knocked out by Rigel, but Rigel also gets knocked out, so we have a knockout trade. But Pricel here is a medic, and he could work on getting Twig King back up. PHK tries to move up, he gets knocked out as well. Moderate chance of waking up for both of these guys. Twig is nearly a guarantee as long as the medic finds him. And since Twig is the leader, I'd imagine they would probably figure out that he was down real quick. We see Speed already seen that he's knocked out. And we've got more Op 4 elements slowly moving along. Manco, I think he's dealing with admin stuff right now, which is why he's here, because he's one of the admins, probably working on that Blue 4 group and respawning them all over there. But the rest of his team is moving down. PHK wakes back up, Rigel staying uncon. Twig has been dragged back, so I'd imagine the medic is going to start working on him. We have some rifle fire on the Blue 4 guys that are trying to push that Op 4 element back, so they're going to be holding their positions, but they're stuck. Oh, they've got some decent buildings around them, but they're definitely separated. Manco could get admin killed here as he's just trying to work on stuff, but he's got a pretty decent angle to survive. Blue 4 moving more of their vehicles over. We got some Blue 4 still walking. And I'm trying to look out here. We do have Blue 4 starting to move on this area. This is a really bad spot to be in, though. They're deliberately putting themselves in a position where they're going to be stuck on a bottleneck with that bridge, or then going around the side. They should be assaulting from the forested areas where at least they have some concealment to get on some of these outer buildings, and then use those as a staging ground to push that position. See some long-range 50 cal going, just because Op 4 put a few guys on the dockyards itself. That's with a static 50 cal. I don't know, I'm a little worried about Blue 4's positioning with this, but we'll just have to see how things go. Rigel wakes back up. Crazy is peeking, trying to see if there's QRF coming. Twig was brought back, that's nice. And these 4 are rallied, but they're staying back. We got one stuck in the building. Crazy in speed, moving to breach this building. PHK had to hear that door open. Bro's got a bolt-action rifle. That dude gets headshotted. Yeah, that was kind of expected, wasn't it? I think Manco just got pushed by Henry and taken out. No, he moved. Okay, Manco ran back. That's good. Now Rigel's trying to lock this position down. Might catch Settler here. OPFOR are being cut off, so they're forced to use this 2-story building. Still taking long-range fire from a 50 cal position. But the only hope they really have to get to that position is to run to the beach and then follow up. So, not sure if they're willing to do that, but that back gate is open. They are smoking this location, though, so they might try to do something like that. You know, I hope we do see a World War II era Thunder Run, but I doubt it. Yeah, Audrey Hotto only played a little bit of PvP. He had the grand run of a lifetime, and then I think he's just not doing ARM anymore. I can always hit him up once in a blue moon for like something scripting related, which I might soon for something, but nah, he's just living his life. Yeah, I have seen him play the FNF War Games stuff, though. Alright, so OPFOR have chosen this style of defensive line because Blue 4 have started plinking from a distance here. That gives them good coverage of the red zone and good coverage of the dockyard. Blue 4 now need to somehow make a plan to hit that. But I'm going to be honest, for Blue 4 in point scoring, the best thing they can do is hit the docks and then move from the dockyard area. Maybe go on the northern side of the red zone and hit the docks from another angle. So Blue 4 still aren't out of the fight yet. But these OPFOR elements are definitely being pesky for them. Have some pretty heavy suppression fire going. The M60E4. AT from the SMA's going in. That got a kill. Menko staying back here. So he was part of the group with Sam. Ah, Rizbo died in that building. The AT might have went through the floor and killed him. Bit overkill? I don't agree. If you don't have any vehicle threats and you're tasked with taking this area, I totally believe in loading up AT and firing it into a building that you know is enemy garrisoned. If it gives you a free kill or two, then yeah, go for it, you know? Blue 4 with the number advantage, though. We still have a wounded in that vehicle, but they are completely suppressing this building. You've got these 3 back here that don't know how to assist. They're smoking. Manco might just be stuck back there. But these 3, I don't know what they can do because there's not a lot of places they can move around to flank. They'd have to go all the way down low and then go around, but at that point, just go to the docks. I get it that they're stalling for time, but there's still 19 minutes left on this objective. We finally have the Bush Wookiees coming around. They've been here the entire time, though. It's kind of interesting that they've only now chosen to move. Gerald only has a bolt action and a pistol, but it looks like this AAVP's been brought up and it's now trying to assist in the defense here. Okay, Delta's over there. GMG firing, but it's short. The sad thing is there's nothing Gerald can do in this position, because from every angle, this vehicle is bulletproof. Something just exploded over here. All right, so it was an OPFOR. This was an OPFOR position, but they pulled back. I think Watts Watch just blew the building up, so it wasn't used as a staging point to get into the zone. That's smart, denying your opponent the ability to use good buildings against you. These guys are now crossing the river, probably scared of that vehicle, but I don't think they have AT either. I don't think they're allowed to crawl under and then poke their heads through the quote-unquote secret hatch to do that, but, you know, c'est la vie. And then we got a Blue 4 group coming up to flank that team. Yeah, if these guys don't run immediately, they're going to be screwed here, but I think they're trying to make a move. Or they might have noticed the Blue 4 guys coming up, but there's a 50 cal that can drive right up and hit him. Manco's been stuck in this building. Speed just got knocked out by something. Just wondering if we're going to see some OPFOR come in here and get some Overwatch positions to assist, because they do have that capability. But these OPFOR are just being kind of left to dry, and it's not really changing much because Blue 4 is still trying to make an assault here. I really don't get why they're doing it from this angle, though. Like, this is just super bad positioning. They could have also come in from the south. Like, they weren't forced to make this decision. I think this is what's going to cost them a big chunk of their infantry and eventually the game, is because the only thing I can think of is it's a pinning action. But you can do that with, like, you know, 50 cal Humvees and statics and then keep these guys pinned. You don't have to keep so much infantry over here, because otherwise they're just stuck there. Decisively engaged. And just not the best call to make. Delta gets run over. What on earth did I just watch? Manco gets knocked out. Arthiak jumps out. He's trying to stay underwater. He doesn't want to get killed by that 50 cal. Now you're having the AAVP from range killing these guys. But they're also taking friendly fire from... What? Aren't they? He's still shooting. Oh. Okay. You can make of that what you will. I don't... Huh. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. That's, that was interesting. That was legitimately interesting. Looks like... Oh my god, so the AAVP just got satcheled by the Special Forces. Yep, see, he's set as a demo specialist, so he ran up and put a charge on the vehicle and blew it up. Amazing. And then we got some guy stuck on the ground right here. Horno is over here. I don't know if he set a satchel himself. He did not, but he is on 2 kills. Like I said, I don't have anything. That was interesting. That's all I got. Arthiak finally gets knocked out as he was picking off some people. Yes, it was U.S. spies. Sure, why not? See some Blue 4 grabbing a boat and moving it back. Manco wakes back up, probably doing medical. He's just door camping because someone looks like, yeah, someone pushed him and he took him out. And no one's going in to check. So Blue 4 took quite a few casualties in that. Yes, OPFOR are dying, but Blue 4 I think is losing a little too many people per firefight. I don't think that's going to be much if Blue 4 manages to circumvent the massive OPFOR defensive line and take the fight to CQC, but if they don't, then that's going to be a tough break. Rigel is literally hiding under this boat. And he's playing chicken with the shooters that are trying to get his feetsies here. Smart use of the boat for cover, though. Not gonna lie, it's good. I'm trying to purge what I just saw from my mind, to be perfectly honest. That made my brain hurt. The only thing I can think of is the other Humvee ran somebody over and broke the rules. And then maybe they thought that that Humvee was this Humvee because it was these guys that did that run over and broke the rules there, because they were also trying to run over the other guy. And then maybe these guys got confused on which Humvee it was. And then they opened fired on the other crew thinking it was that crew as a form of vigilante justice or something. I really don't know, because OPFOR is not even using 50 cal Humvees. And if he looks like you, then why would you shoot at him if he literally looks like it? Like I said, the more I try to think about it, the more I can't really seem to justify it, because it gets worse. So, like I said, I'm just trying to tune it out of my brain. Twig pushes up. It's a 1v2. Looks like he gets crippled for that, and he's trying to pull away. A grenade did get a knockout there. Ooh, that grenade doesn't get the slip, though. And now you got Blue 4 moving into this zone from the other side, and it's just down to 3 defenders here. Their medic is dead, though. Horno trying to get an angle on somebody. You know, this many players, of course there's going to be tomfoolery when it's nearly 150 players playing a meme-op like this, man. And Crazy's about to be dead. Yep. Horno now breaching. Horno's using a 7.62 rifle to do this breaching, so his caliber is going to be a lot deadlier than the standard 5.56 most people are using here. Speed going on the rooftop with GLs is able to take out those two guys, so that's smart. Twig gets knocked out from the outside. I think Rigel got him there. Speed getting Rigel for that, but he gets walked up on and eliminated by Horno. So Horno on 4 kills now. And that is the entirety of OPFOR eliminated, minus Manco here. But is he going to channel his inner Audrey Hotto and come in and take this objective on his own? I doubt it. I'd love to see it, though. And then we have this fight, which has just been an elongated suppression fight against very well-entrenched OPFOR. The only way to beat this would be for Blue 4 to go all the way around their Humvees and come in from the north. Who's the commander for Blue 4? I think Lolo could pull something off like that if he realizes what's going on, but he's very far from the front. Are they going to do an amphibious? Are they going to take a right? They're going to swim this with those amphibious vehicles and attack from the north, because they realize how defensive that group is. And then when these guys get that objective done, they're going to cross this bridge and also attack from the north. He's going to completely circumvent the OPFOR defense line. That is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to at least keep maybe 1 or 2 small groups of infantry with machine guns to suppress, but everything else can go around, because if he completely pulls all of his forces away, OPFOR is going to know something's up. So you still need to keep a few guys there to keep the suppression going. But from there, you can then route everything over. But that critique aside, this is the right call to make. I don't 100% agree with it being a stealthy call of doing it all the way around. He could have literally just gone the other way and then utilized this bridge. But I think he's thinking OPFOR is defending it because he might have some reports of OPFOR moving around here. But he also had Blue 4 move around there. But again, he's not getting perfect information here, so he has to make a wide call like this. So with that, we're going to have a bit of a lull in the fighting here. Maybe Manco can do something. We do have 2 members of Blue 4 coming back to this building. I have a feeling I know this is going to play. No, never mind. He got shot in the back of the head, Hillary Clinton style. I thought they were going to come around the front door and Manco was going to AT them in the face, but no, he got SEAL Team 6'd with that one. Wait! Do it! Do it, Manco! No! God damn it. Oh well. There's always a next time. Was I rooting to watch someone blow themselves up with AT and take somebody with them? Absolutely, because that's funny. Am I disappointed it didn't happen? Yes. But hey, Blue 4 gets a rocket launcher now. Which I'm fairly certain Manco took that off of a dead Blue 4 guy, so technically it's just being reappropriated. I am curious that we still have like 50 cals over here. I'm surprised that they're just not being... I also get not wanting to put your 50 cals immediately on the front line because that risks, you know, anyone with an RCO scope being able to just scope in and hit them, but you need to continue the suppression. Even if it's behind a few trees, you want the fear of the weaponry, and then you just have someone with binos calling the shots and walking the shots in. Property of Blue 4 double tap time. Yeah, good God. Horno trying to get a few pickoffs on some OP4 elements that came up to reinforce too little too late. Now you're going to see these vehicles. I think they're going to just swim here to here. That's going to take at least another, I'd say 10 minutes to get all the way around and potentially find a dismount point maybe in Friedorf. When I saw an OP4 squad going up to this position, I thought, yeah, you know, that might be a decent call. And then they pulled it back, and I find it funny that it's now pulled back, and that's exactly what Blue 4 is doing. Some of them are going the shorter route, though. So they're hiding two of the APCs back here, and they're just risking one squad right now to do it. I'm going to be honest, I don't agree with them coming this way, because at least from this northern side, they have the city to work with, and they got more surface area to then go towards the northeast, but maybe they're thinking... Maybe it's because this group scouted and saw that there was nothing over here, so they're thinking this is all clear, but this leaves little on dismount room to move in on. And when your enemy has medium anti-tank, they could just snipe the vehicle if you try rushing in, so... Very risky the way Depso is pulling these calling these shots here, but I see the merit. There is Pog later tonight. It will be pay for pain and pay for... pay for help. Another OP4 guy got picked off by one of those 50 cals. Smoke was popped. They're leaving. Looks like you have a majority of Blue 4 here. Okay, so that's still symbolized because that guy is uncon in the vehicle. And then you've got all the other infantry moving in. So I'd imagine they're going to take this dock, cross north, and then push in to the town. OP4, meanwhile... It's difficult to predict how they're going to fold all their forces back, but if Blue 4 immediately push pressure on the dockyard from the mainland on the northern side, I'd imagine we're going to see everything fold back in an emergency call. And I'm sorry, it wasn't Depso making the Blue 4 calls, it's Lolo making the Blue 4 calls. Depso, though, I'm not sure how he's going to call it. If they get spotted. Yeah, I'm not worried about them doing this river crossing and getting spotted, just to clarify. I'm worried about them moving up through this open terrain with or without the vehicles and getting spotted. Because that's where you'll have some people, you know, on towers actually looking in those directions. Is Blue 4 going to get a freebie? OP4 was just ordered to leave the dock. I think we're about to have a lesson again in why you need to pull actual site security instead of hosting around the site. Oh no. Granted, it's not a guarantee here because Blue 4 then has to hold it for the entire mission, but logically, if Blue 4 gets their foot in the door, OP4 is going to have to send forces away from their giant defensive line to retake it, making gaps for Blue 4 to then come in. So tactically, even though Blue 4 is down at least a squad's worth of infantry by now, OP4 has a number advantage. This has shifted the tide here. Now it's more even. It's just going to rely on the PvP. But I was thinking OP4 was a little comfortable here, but now it's anyone's game. Let's watch the map here. We have another squad slowly moving up there, testing the waters to see if they can get forces into here. That is an AT group as well, so they're hunting for those AAVPs. Meanwhile, we have one APC that's made it, two that are about to make it, and then two more coming up to assist them. So Blue 4 is going to probably go at least half of their forces on the northern side and put them right on the dockyard. USMC's intentions have been revealed. So now Blue 4 knows which one is being assaulted. So these objectives have been grayed out just 10 minutes before the first objectives cashed in, but I think it's easy to say. I'm going to be honest with you, though. That would be absolutely based if OPFOR did the attacks in these zones and then quietly pulled all the forces out to the north and took half of the force out of here and then put them on these other positions. That would be incredible, because it would take Blue 4 another 15 to 20 minutes to rally in. They'd be forced to do a rush at that point. You'd have perfect defensive positions around Nuck to stop a counter rush. Can you imagine if like half the forces here were gone, it was just enough to stop the suppression, and then, you know, they had like a few guys in the docks and then the rest were in Nuck ready to go? That would be funny. That's the type of shit I would pull as a commander, say, yeah, this is what you're doing at these hard timestamps. Of course, that play would require the helicopter, and OPFOR lost their helicopter within the first minute of the game to silliness, so that plan would go out the window. Ooh. AAVP just spotted a few of the Blue 4 infantry and immediately started picking them off. 50 cal gunner died. That was Winter. So that's why I was saying you probably don't want to expose the 50 cals. Instead, you just want to shoot them through the trees and then just have a spotter walk your shots in. Because I think Blue 4 needs to have some sort of combat action to make OPFOR think they're actually going to come from weird directions, when in reality, Blue 4 is going to attack from the other side. Look at this, though. OPFOR, I think OPFOR wised up to a flank attack from the north. I don't think it's going to be... Here's what I think, actually. These guys are put here literally to stop anything from the MSR coming, and then anything potentially swimming over as well. Because OPFOR took a lot of resistance from over here, and now most of that resistance is gone. Naturally, I think OPFOR is going to think, okay, they might have just swam across. I need to put some stuff to the north. Still very risky to leave the dockyard itself open, but I think he's just trying to make an all-around 360 defense to identify where Blue 4 is going to attack from and then fold forces out accordingly. What's interesting here is that Blue 4 is now going to attack from all sides and keep all those forces pinned. So if Blue 4 is able to then get a force in the dockyard, that can completely cripple OPFOR's plan here. Blue 4 is going to have 2 points on the board in about 3 minutes. And then it's 3 points for over as this red zone by the 70-minute mark. That's 70 plus the 8 minutes to safe start. And then the end of the game would be those docks for 4 points. So dock's not worth that much, but it definitely is a good positioning piece. I wonder when we're going to see Blue 4 go all in with their remaining command team. Probably in the end of the game, once all Blue 4 elements are committed and there's no need for command. Blue 4 have control of this mansion. They are firing at forces here. This lack of pushing in, though, is going to give OPFOR some time to set up defenses, possibly bring in the AAVP and halt this element. We need to see these guys then rush in at a different angle and just grab the first set of buildings that they can. But because of OPFOR's shifting of a 360 defense, because they realize Blue 4 might be able to come around from the north based off of the 2 tells Blue 4 gave, I think OPFOR have re-solidified their ability here. But where it could fall apart for Blue 4 as well is too many people on Overwatch elements not actually pushing in, and OPFOR is just going to commit everything to defense. If all sides get swarmed, Blue 4 is likely to break through in one location, but if no sides push, then OPFOR can just hold it out. I don't think Blue 4 has the ability to search for gaps, because as soon as they come in, they're committed to something now, because OPFOR have all their forces everywhere, but maybe we'll see these guys get in on the docks. and that could cause some panic. Look at the discipline here. OFCRA doesn't want to leave the red zone at all. They're staying to all the buildings just inside. They're trying to make a slight L-shaped defensive line here for that one blue 4 hardpoint. And then blue 4, they do have some 50 cals they're bringing out of the APCs, though. That'll give them a little bit of fire support. GL's going in, though. Oh, that's way over. Looks like we do have some blue 4 that are starting to smoke and advance off to the side. That's way too few people that should be doing the assault. It should be 4 people overwatching and the rest of these guys moving in on the assault. They should be going in 2 directions as well, unless these guys are going to go in, but it looks like they're going to go wide around. This is the Overwatch fallacy. Too many people on Overwatch, not enough people assaulting. These guys are going to get piecemealed, and then no one else is going to want to go in. Cal's brought up. You got some suppressive fire coming in here. They're trying to fire on the positions that OFCRA's at. Oh, they're just rushing right in. Not gonna be on. Okay, gonna be honest. That's the right call to make in this situation. It's just a very rare call for OFCRA themselves to make, you know? Plus, that vehicle is greatly ahead of the other vehicle, so that shows a little lack of coordination here. And right off the bat, Blue 4 get a pick off of one OFCRA guy that was coming in. And he gets double taps. This is going to pull some attention away from that area. This could be Blue 4's spearhead. Another AT round goes in and it misses. That's going to be another 3. Now we need to see Blue 4 follow in with more infantry into the breach. Because what'll happen is Blue 4 can get in these tall buildings and set up their own defensive positions and cause OFCRA to then attack them. AAVP is now being pushed in, but it's got 2 different fronts to potentially engage. Looks like it's going to be committed to some of the Overwatch elements here. But it is prone to being flanked from these high-rises if we can just see some AT get into here. Wombat gets into a one-on-one right there. What would be great is if we saw these infantry rally, mount up in vehicles, and then start dismounting into here and then starting to move into the middle. I don't know if Lolo's going to be able to rally his forces at that level, though, because this would be a great element to mount up and then push into that breach. That element would be great to add into the breach. They found the gap they needed. They just need to push in and exploit it before OFCRA move forces over to set up a counter defensive line to that gap to isolate them. And I'm not seeing the movement here that needs to be done for Blue 4 to properly exploit that. Because these guys, their job would be to basically hold the breach and then allow for QRF to move in and then bump past them, preferably to the dockyard. OPFOR's main counter would be to isolate this pocket, but I think it's just going to be a slow play out here with both sides kind of stuck in their ways here. Blue 4 have their orders to assault, and there's no other elements here that are going to come up and assist them. What could also happen is OPFOR might pull back from this position upon taking flanking pressure. That could open up so that Blue 4's elements here can move in. But again, they're on a stark line of resistance here, so they're not going to be able to move in until this is taken care of. I think the AT-4 just tried to fire at this vehicle. Even if that hit, that would have hit the rear compartment and been unlikely to kill anybody, because they're all in the front compartments. So yeah, that was another hit on the rear, though. Oh, looks like they hit the turret. spike there. But yeah, hitting the turret at least knocks the vehicle out. So this entire group is now pulling away. We have another squad coming in to reinforce. We have a few OPFOR trying to move into this breachhead, but Blue 4 are too far in the building because now they're starting to take the upper levels to get overwatch over where OPFOR elements are. And there we go. So both groups have their side leader alive, so there's some bonus points in that, so those will cancel out. And then Blue 4 got the docks. So Blue 4 are up by 2 points. So that's why the side leaders weren't committed, but now they will be because I forgot each side had a bonus to keep their side leader alive by the 55-minute mark. So we'll see this group start to move in. And I think now we'll start to see some more aggressive movements from these sides. But yeah, with a big chunk of OPFOR just pulling away. Still staying in some defensive positions, though. Other blue form elements on the north. They're sending another team over to that side. Grenade gets thrown so far, it goes out of the building. Overwatching fire takes him out. He's trying to pop some smokes to cover his buddy. Killer then gets hit by Bluck on the rear. And now Blue 4 slowly going to take a bit more ground. We have another AAVP that got engaged by AT from these high rises. So I think that's all of OPFOR's AAVPs down. No more fire support multiplier. These guys don't want to move because they traded shots with the Blue 4 element back there. These guys don't want to move because they're trading fire with elements over here. These guys aren't going to move because they're the linchpin position of holding the dockyard, plus they're taking fire. So that is not giving OPFOR a lot of infantry to deal with the force out here. Blue 4 now just needs to mount their forces up and exploit it, but instead it looks like Blue 4 have been given orders to just push on their routes. And that means they're going to take attrition losses to these elements here. So there's still a chance, even with Blue 4 making all this progress, the other attacks that push in are going to mean a lot of the reinforced infantry for Blue 4 is going to get taken out, whereas OPFOR's losses are minimal, meaning whoever's still alive in that final fight is going to be what determines it. So it's still either side's game. Now, I wonder if he's going to come up and try to pick him up, or if he's just going up to dismount, because this is a horrible position to be pushing in on when your opponent has such good overwatch on you. And here's the thing. I don't blame OFCRA matches for not having good tactics, because taken from eyewitness accounts, within the first 10 minutes, you usually lose communications with like half the people for one reason or another. Which is why I love seeing when we see good tactics or good choices made. And I like talking about them, but now we're going to have these guys smoke up. They're going to now try to bypass that defensive line to get up with the defenders up here. And that's going to give another Blue 4 squad that can now push in. They're going to run into some more resistance over here, but they could potentially bypass everything and move in. Meanwhile, we got Ivnomain running around over here. You're always going to see some individual Blue 4 guys start to disseminate into the objective since they're not challenged. Now that vehicle's pushing back because these guys seem really hell-bent on assaulting this position. Looks like they got a lucky knockout with an element down there. Thomas here firing at some of the infantry running in the open. Why are you running in the open when you have a vehicle you can all mount in and just drive? One of them accidentally threw a frag instead of a smoke. That's what's always bugged me. When you have a big open area like this and you have room in a vehicle, and if you're driving the vehicle out with them anyway, why not just mount up in the vehicle? The only argument people tell me is, oh, well, what if the vehicle gets blown up? And it's like, then why are you moving in that direction? If there's risk of the vehicle getting blown up, there's risk of the infantry dying. So you might as well just balls it to the wall. I can't tell you the amount of ops I've had or seen where you just see a squad get wiped in an open field when they could have just driven past it or completely bypassed it. It's always funny. Now the Overwatch element's moving in on an opposite side because OPFOR pulled away from these positions. Ivnomain I'd love to see him solo clear something. Not necessarily in OFCRA's rules to do it, but solo clearing is fun. You just have this element committed to pushing that line. Hey, Eris, how you doing? Alright, we'll see how Blue 4 moves in on this spot. Again, I think with the Green 4 element here, Blue 4 is starting to slowly surround it. They'll be able to clear that out, and then they got a straight shot to the docks. Op 4 is going to have no choice but to fold forces in. We'll have a final firefight over here. Blue 4 has pretty much everything committed to this operation. So they spotted the garrison up on the church, and then you got some of these guys turning around and trying to engage from long distance. They do have the scopes for it, though. But yeah, Blue 4 is not going to be able to advance from this angle. They're going to have to move around like that. Meanwhile, we do have some Op 4 stragglers in here. Blue 4 is pushing them along the rear. But it looks like they're kind of distracted with some other Blue 4 elements coming in. We just saw some AT fired on the hospital as a bit of a shock weapon. Yeah, it happened, Shadow. Hypno pulled back a little bit. He couldn't find an angle to breach that area. A flank attack, even by a single element, would be pretty effective here. There is AT used as a shock weapon. Look at that. One AT round landed back here, but this is the one that just caused the entire attack to crumble. More than 50% of that element down. It's going to be multi-kills like that that determine the game. If Op 4 can produce one or two more of those, that's going to turn the number tide around. I always find it funny when you have so many different windows to choose from, but you keep using the same window to peek when Blue 4 has it locked down. You should instead be going for these other ones on the side to make them keep turning their positions. Now, I get what they're going for here. This is the only one that can see them. And then this lower guy can't, but at that point, put some GLs in that location. Look at that side headshot there. Sonic gets knocked out, and now Delano is stuck here. And he gets blown up by a GL. Exactly the call I would make there. Sonic wakes back up. Blue 4 sending some reinforcements down. Looks like they've cleaned up Bluck and some other guys, but now they're taking some blue on blue. Because Blue 4 are moving where Op 4 was, so hopefully that gets straightened out. We have another group that has entered from the side. I would think Blue 4 right now, based off of what I'm seeing, has an ever so slight number advantage, but Op 4 could still rally. It's possible, Shadow. There's still too much time in this round to see, well, there's about 28 minutes left for the game. I could still see Op 4 folding over and holding the docks, but Blue 4 is definitely going directly for that final objective because they know if they can at least hold the final zone, this giant red zone does not matter. And we just had Blue 4... There's been a lot of Blue 4 blue on blue. These are Blue 4 vehicles that they're deading. And now they're going to shoot the other one? We already saw them literally murder their own Humvee point blank. So why are they now doing their vehicle? Like I said, I don't get it. A little friendly wiggle right there by Goatman. There's a lot of blue on blue. We just saw a suppressed weapon for Major Khan take out one of the Blue 4 guys. That's the thing. If Blue 4 loses this match and it's super close, we can literally blame it on the blue on blue that's happened on multiple instances. We still have a little bit of suppression coming here. They're trying to pick some people off, which is good. They're making this position get their heads down so they can't overwatch the rear side. And now we got some OPFOR crossing as there's some suppression because they want to take out the remaining infantry on this side. Goat overcommits without checking that far corner. Runs into a 2v1 and immediately gets knocked out as a 3-for-1 comes out. So when I say stuff like that, 2-for-1, 3-for-1, that means 3 people are engaging the one guy and he's completely outgunned and he gets torn apart. Laser looks like he was doing some medical. Doesn't realize that that guy was taken out. And now he's going to walk in. Blue 4, though, we see that they're starting to get boots on the ground across some of these outer OPFOR positions. They might try to breach. Still has some long-range 50 cal on the towers. And they just fired... Why? Why? Why do you all hate each other? Honestly, this game is so close. And it's going to come down to how many times blue on blue happened, and that is going to cost blue for the game. Like, the more I look at it, the more I look at the numbers shifting back and forth. Blue 4 now seem to have a slight number advantage, but they keep killing their own dudes. It doesn't make sense. And now you got these really strong OPFOR garrisons. It looks like I can't tell if OPFOR is firing at this garrison here, thinking that they're tied with that one infantry guy, but they also came around, killed Laservoff, and now Blue 4 just knocked back away from the objective. So OPFOR, what we're going to see, as a 70-minute mark, that's going to come up in about 4.5 minutes. Everything here is just going to pull back to the docks. Blue 4 were unable to get anything past it, and now OPFOR have a solid chance of winning. Blue 4's southern garrison is tied in on trying to kill these remaining OPFOR players, but this is going to turn into 1v1s here. And then the northern groups are just stopped by a solid defensive line. Scrolling out, we do have command coming in from the rear. We still have that knockout over here. I think OPFOR is going to come out on top here. And you got some chuckleheads running in the open right here. Getting picked off is the bush Wookiees. Never stay on an open field by a giant town. You immediately want to run into a building. You know what I'd love to see? This is one of my fantasies. Let's get a bunch of OFCRA players and run them through MacMarine's ship. And then on the flip side, I'd love to take a lot of you viewers and run you through the ship. Anyway, that one Blue 4 guy gets taken out. Tom's trying to get Maxic for that. Gregory pushing Snobus up here. Snobus gets taken out. But yeah, these guys are held in this position because of those OPFOR stragglers. Cash-in is going to be in 2 minutes. Long-range fight between Bluck and Mr. Cool. I just saw AT. Yes. Just clear backblast with this guy so you don't backblast him in the face when you fire that shot. Never mind, he gets shot himself. So, lesson right there. If you're going to prep AT, don't prep it in front of the window where you're getting shot from. Don't reload in the open either while you're at it. Bluck, the only guy left alive in there. Cuboid's coming around. I don't think Blue 4 is going to have the numbers to push in. They're taking way too much attrition. We've got one solid group right here. That is a lot of friendly fire. That's a lot, dude. Like, -1, okay, it's an accident. -2 is questionable. -3 means you're probably an OPFOR spy at that point. With a vehicle kill, mind you. I don't know. Look at that. 2 Blue 4 guys saw each other and didn't kill each other. Wow, it's a miracle. Bluck knows he's alone here. We're about to see this cash-in. I'm curious to see where the points go to. It's either going to go to neither group or it's going to go to I would say OFCRA have the numbers here, but I could be wrong. If it goes to Blue 4, though, it's an automatic Blue 4 victory, because that would be 5 points over the 4 points OFCRA can capture on the docks, because Blue 4 already have the 2 points from that first dock area, and then this city at the 70-minute mark is worth 3 points, so that would be 5 to 4, because that final zone's worth 4 points, and then it's 2 plus 3. So if Blue 4 somehow get it, completed by East, failed by West. Okay, so now it's whoever has control of that final zone is going to win, because it's 3 to 2 right now. Not counting the side bonuses at 55 minutes, those offset because they're worth the same exact amount of points. I was about to say, am I about to see a Humvee blitz the bridge just to go right into the dock as Devso tries to run in? I mean, probably not the smartest call to make, but... Oh, they just tried to blow him up with a satchel! Please don't dismount right in front of their firing line. Alright. Let me show you guys why this was a really silly idea. Lesson 1. Natha. Huh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, there we go. Natha. Thank you, Overwatch. Lesson 2. He already died. Lesson 3. Phobos. Wait for it. There it is. Good job, Barrows. Thank you for showing the lessons. That is why you do not dismount in front of an enemy fighting position when they have Overwatch on you. I thought they would blow through and immediately go for the dock. What they should have done is gone around and then dismounted with friendlies and assisted them, not blitz it and cost Blue 4 even more manpower. Look at this. Concave defense on this group, and then these other guys are pinned down by 3 OPFOR. I think OPFOR won this one. With the amount of OPFOR and the positioning of OPFOR compared to Blue 4, I think OPFOR have won, and that is mainly because when Blue 4 found the gap they needed to come into the city, they did not exploit it. And I'm not sure if that's because Lolo was unable to radio people, or if people just outright chose to ignore potentially pushing in on that gap. Because we saw Blue 4 move in through the gap, sure, but they didn't have the numbers to constantly push to the final objective, because they could have bypassed all of this and just gone straight for the dock for the points, and won. Now, it's still technically not game over yet. You could have some OPFOR Blue 4 member channel their inner Audrey Hotto, you know the joke, and literally wipe everyone on the opposite side, but tactics-wise, I think it's done. I do appreciate looking at Fonz right here. He's using a noob tube. Even if it was a miss, that's a good shock weapon to use because it might get you a free kill. And, you know, the funny thing is, I think Archangel just did a head count. It's, what, 15 to 11? There's been about 5 or 6 Blue 4 blue on blues. Which means if Blue 4 didn't blue on blue, they might have won. That's an OPFOR kill. These OPFOR guys out here still holding against some Blue 4 stragglers. You got 3 other pockets of Blue 4 trying to move in on the dock zone. Great GL. It's a little far, but it did do some damage on Crazy. And at this point, it's all small unit tactics. What do you guys think of this scenario? I think OPFOR's only fumble was the helicopter in the beginning with that cocky pilot that blew himself up and, you know, killed all the OPFOR elite special units, but I saw the merit in what OPFOR did with putting only a handful of guys at the docks. That was meant to pull Blue 4 attention away so OPFOR could secure the bigger objectives. I think that played out perfectly. And I know why OPFOR didn't send additional forces there until, like, the very end, and so they could push out, or so they could stay in this AO and hold against Blue 4 with a more confined force on the bigger objectives there. So that's why those Op 4 elements got hung out to dry. Look at this kill zone. Jesus. Mitchell backs away from the rifleman and opts to just double tap everybody. Why? Oh, no, it was Major Khan. Okay, I almost laughed my ass off. No, it was an Op 4 shooter. It was an Op 4 shooter. It was in the case of blue on blue. We're good. We're good. It's fine. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. It was standard PvP, not friendlies firing at each other. Wow, Lolo and the other guy both get knocked to their feet, but Lolo was able to win that fight. And Blue 4 needs every kill they can get at this point, so. We have one Op 4 guy in the final zone. That's Op 4 Command. Mission will end in about 15 minutes. Crazy trying to suppress. What was Tom shooting at? I'm going to be honest. I don't agree with what Blue 4 is doing with here. They're trying to breach these guys out, but they need to be focusing on the final area because there's less than 10, well, about 14 minutes left. I can't tell if that was another kill right there, or if that was earlier. Bonds comes in, gets one kill. Does Wiki Quartz realize that he is about to be flanked? Looks like there's no way for them to get on the other side of this area here. He's by the stairwell. Yeah, Tom's just firing at that other building. Here comes Fonz. Wiki Quartz is trying to be at an angle here where he can both watch this window and watch the doorway. Riston, I wouldn't be able to tell you, Roski. I'd have to click through every name. I don't think anyone's really made that many kills today, though. Blue 4 now engaging that final garrison as they mounted up in an Op 4 vehicle. Albert Q tries to get a kill there. Fonz looking to breach. Op 4 brought more reinforcements here. Blue 4 have got 3 guys in the barracks there. Cheeseburger trying to suppress from afar. You have some Op 4 in that vehicle. Ah, they're knocked out. So they're trying to mount up to drive out, but they got knocked on that. GL's coming up. They get one Blue 4 kill. Another Blue 4 kill. This is why it's good to save your some GLs till the end. You'll get these nice positions. And you see one more GL potentially moving. I think that's Depso. No, it's Barros. That one goes super over. Meanwhile, looking back at Wiki Quartz here. He did just repel somebody, and now he's trying to hold this the kill house on his own. But yeah, Blue 4, we got 2 guys out about close to the docks here with a decent chunk of Op 4, and then the remaining Op 4 guy right here is holding the remainder of the Blue 4 here. Wiki Quartz breaches Fonz. Fonz pushes back, and Wiki Quartz ran out of ammo. He had Fonz dead to rights, but he didn't have enough ammo to hold. So we've got Lolo carrying a wounded here, but he starts taking suppressive fire from Major Khan. Major Khan's on 5 kills. I think that's the most I've seen. Hawkeye gets knocked out. Blue 4 are now 7 to 10. Yeah, Lolo just ditches him because he's dead weight at this point, unfortunately. Mission will end in 10 minutes. I don't see how Blue 4 is going to rally those forces to push into the dock here. I don't see how the remaining side leader for Blue 4 can push in and take this. It looks like the United States Marine Corps will successfully annex Greenland. I'm going to be honest, I really hope they turn this into a campaign. over the next few months, we'll occasionally have another U.S. Marine Corps op taking over Greenland. I'd love that. Absolutely would love that. I thought the kits were actually fairly well balanced. I thought the GMGs of the AAVPs would be a bit more of a threat, but they were very massively misplayed. Callie coming up, double tapping a few people. Lolo coming around. Kevin just poked me to say, holy, that fight, FJB effing rules. Was Kevin the last guy in here that we just saw get killed? Someone help me jog my memory. I think he was just in a fight with these remaining guys here. I'll be honest, I'm actually quite surprised the OFCRA element on the bottom right held for as long as they did. But it just ended up turning into a delay in action. Next op is going to be in 3 hours with a little bit of pay for campaign, as well as pay for assistance. Mac Marine's going to be trying a different approach. They nabbed a lot of resources in the second half, and we'll see how things go. Lolo trying to suppress the 2 OPFOR. All right, Blue 4 side leader versus OPFOR side leader. Depso immediately springs into action, trying to find a flanking shot on Lolo. Doing some double taps. Little worried when we see players running around like that with one behind the other, because if Blue 4 pokes his head out and that rear player wants to shoot, but the blue front player is moving around, rear player is going to shoot the front player in the back of the head. That's what we call an unfortunate friendly fire incident, where it wasn't even intentional to kill your buddy, but because of positioning, it still happened. Look at this. They were all in the same spot, and yet half of them are still back here, and the other half are running. That just shows how disjointed Blue 4 is at the moment. Oh, I looked away and Lolo died. Depso didn't get the kill. The other guy did. He throws a grenade in. It bounces off the wall. That was Callie that got that headshot then. But he's not rated with a kill, so I don't know who got it. Oh, it might have been some dudes up here. 2 of them have 3 kills, 1 of them has 1. Okay, no, 2 of them have 1 kill and 2 of them have 3 kills. So that is 8 kills total for that fire team up there. Not bad for your team to go 2-1. Coordination issues, yeah. That's what I'm ruling it on. We might have Lolo come into the chat and tell us himself, but I know Depso sometimes when he dies, he comes in, I'm able to ask him a few questions. But from any commander of OFCRA on either side, the #1 issue I hear is they had issues coordinating their forces. And as, you know, like a company commander coordinating, these can be... God, again, the biggest match they did was actually recently, where they got, like, what, 220 players? 200... Was it 220 or 240? That was, what, 2 weeks ago? And funny enough, that was with BIA. I remember the one complaint I heard from both sides was there were so many people to coordinate in that mission, because that's 120 versus 120 for 240. That's an actual company's worth of forces, because that is 3 platoons with supporting assets. He got a trophy. Yeah, he brought his body back. AT just fired up here, but it was ineffective. But yeah, with that many people on lawn ranges, and you have to have platoon commanders at that point, the company commander will tell the platoons what to do, and then it's up to the platoon commanders to wrangle, you know, the 4 or 5 squads on comms, as well as the supporting assets. That's tough to do. As someone that once had to be the side commander of a company's worth of people for 6 hours in a PvP match, it's disjointed as hell. So whenever I see miscommunication, it's much more common than you think. And if you want to go see it, go look up CCO6. Not my kind of op. I love how Depso's carrying his body, though. He really likes his trophy. Let's just confirm. Oh, I think Lolo left the server, because I don't see him. Callie, I think, just got knocked out by Fonz. Here, I got it. Can Fonz channel his inner Audrey Hotto and win the match for Blue 4? He does have 6 minutes. He could single-handedly come in and kill 5 or 6 dudes. He just has to avoid the Overwatch Tower of Death. Can Fonz avoid the Overwatch Tower of Death? Oh, he double-tapped Callie. How do our men in the Overwatch Tower rate this? I think he just died. Brutchman just killed him. Alright, OFCRA victory, GG. We've got 3.5 minutes left, and as soon as this match finishes, I'm going to go work on the POG mission file. I haven't even finished that one yet, but I'll get the documentation out. I'll try to start the stream 30 minutes early to let you guys look at it. We'll talk about strategy for the defensive faction. Well, 48,668 just got AT to the face. Let's go ahead and look at 48,668's KD. It's still at -3. You know, I don't appreciate this red on red here. OFCRA is clearly killing a valuable member of OFCRA here. Don't you hate it when OFCRA does friendly fire and it's killing their secret allies? Crazy. Anyway, Albert Q moving up. Technically, it's Albert CQ. I just call him Albert Q. Oh, I thought he was about to get GL'd in the face. He runs into a building with 3.5 minutes left. Archangel, we already saw a few people that had 5 kills, so there was no one that really was carrying in terms of kill counts. Like, all of our normal heavy hitters died pretty quickly with only a handful, so this... I'm going to be honest, usually when you see something like that in OFCRA, it means it was a pretty even match. So, you know, despite this all being a meme-op, this was pretty good. For balance, at least. Your own personal politics aside. And he's dead. That is everyone dead to Blue 4. You got to remember, it doesn't matter if your entire side gets wiped. It's going to go to points, but the final point count is going to be OFCRA with the 4 points here and the 3 points here, and Blue 4 with those 2 points. So, and then there was 2 points for the side bonus. So, final score is 9-4. GG. Anyway, guys, we'll be back in about 3 hours for some POG operations. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. Axel, hi, buddy. And now goodbye. Have a good one.